This is the Dan Gemis Real Estate Show. Heard every Saturday and Sunday from noon to 1 p.m. right here on AM800.
Thank you for doing a good job as always.
Now back to the show with broker owner and host, Dan Gemis.
Well, hello, everyone. Thanks for joining us today, with you till 1 o'clock and back with you tomorrow from noon to 1 here on AM800. And I've got a full house today. Kathy Talbot and Matt Alita, sales reps of the Dan Gemis team in studio, along with Kathy's sister, Mary Ellen, who's taking a trip down for our charity event happening tonight. We're very excited. Our Country at Heart event, raising money for the Canadian Mental Health Association at Sprucewood Winery tonight. Sold out in less than an hour. We are so proud of all of our community and everyone who supports us every single year with that event. But now is time to launch a brand new segment that we're launching here on the show for the next couple of months. And it's all about featuring our local municipalities because you all know there's so much happening in Windsor, Essex, so many great projects and cool things going on that I wanted to feature them for all to hear across Windsor and Essex County. And we're starting with a good friend of mine, Mayor Sherry Bondy from the town of Essex. Hey, Sherry, how are you?
Oh, fantastic. How are you in the group today?
Well, fantastic. And thank you so much for joining us. I got to say, you guys have so many great things happening in Essex. I don't know if we're going to have enough time to fill,
I know,
we could fill a couple segments easily, right?
Yeah, it's great. You know, our council has been rocking now for a while. We just awarded the Essex Streetscape, so beautiful downtown Essex will get even more charming. And, you know, we did that in Harrow. We had great results there.
Beautiful job in Harrow.
Harrow looks awesome.
Yeah, so we want to replicate it in Essex, and we're also doing Victoria Avenue this year in Essex. So residents are really excited. That's been on our bucket list, I think, since I've been on council. So we have those exciting developments coming in Ward 1. We also just had a meeting with Amherstburg to see about possible expansion opportunities in the McGregor area. And Colchester is going to be seeing some development in this term of council as well.
Wow, fantastic. You know, it must be great to have relationships with the fellow municipalities next door and share resources, right?
Oh, it is. You know, we are a region, and Essex is kind of unique. You know, we have 4 urban centers, and one of our urban centers is shared with Amherstburg. So anything we do, whether it's at Coan Park or development in McGregor, we need to make sure that we're working together. So we're doing an environmental assessment to look at capacity there, which we're also doing an environmental assessment in Colchester to see. You know, one of the things we heard loud and clear in the last election is people want to grow, but they want to grow smartly, and we want to provide the residents with reassurance that we have capacity. And another thing we're doing is Hydro One is coming to Essex Council on Monday to answer questions. And in terms of ELK, which is owned by the town of Essex, we have a brand new board taking ELK in a new direction to bring about improvements there.
You know, it's truly been quite the issues you guys have been having out in Essex, right? With hydro turning off, and you know, people have not been too happy.
Right. You know, it is. So we're looking the new ELK board. We had our first meeting. There's going to be a public update coming out of that. We're really going to focus on, you know, tree trimming, asset management, and bringing our staffing up to par. So residents should see improvements in the near future with that. You know, our council is working well together. We're in the middle of our corporate strategic plan right now, setting out our mandates. You know, we're looking, I've got a strong mandate as mayor to look at industrial lands. You know, because Essex is in a prime location, you know, can we develop our industrial lands in Ward 1 that are right around number 3 highway? So it's really exciting time to be mayor, challenging in many ways, you know, because the province wants us to do everything overnight and we just don't have the resources, but also really exciting time.
You've got some a trial happening with regards to ADUs in the town as well.
Yes, so we have joined ADU Search, which was started in Windsor, and we were a smaller municipality, but they took us in. So if anybody goes to AUD Search, the town of Essex and Amherstburg are on there, and you can look at your property and see if you can put an additional dwelling unit in your backyard. Just by looking at the map, it'll give you a color. You know, green means go, yellow means, you know, maybe, and red means no go. So we really want people to look at Essex as a place to be and to keep your family. You know, we just had a tiny home open house, and where a family in the front, decided to build a home in the back to put their mother in. And it's not a situation that works for everybody. We understand that. But it is a situation that can work for some people to keep them in the community and to bring about more attainable housing options.
Yes, we need them. We definitely need
Absolutely.
them for sure. Talk to us a bit about a trail with regards to IRCA.
So IRCA just recently had a great announcement, and the Queso line is now taken over by IRCA, and that runs right through Ward 1. And we have always been, since John Scott was on Essex Council in 2010, we've always been working on our trail system. So this is just another part of the regional trail system that'll hopefully, and I think it does, it's been proven in Harrow to bring people in. We will just have another connecting link for active transportation, people on bikes, people jogging, people with strollers and wagons to visit our downtown core in Essex. And then this year, we are also doing another segment of our County Road 50 paved shoulder program in conjunction with the county. So we're building that trail network to, make sure that we're all connected and people can have that trail economic tourism as well.
I love it. Now, something you've talked about quite a bit over the last few months has been the high school in Harrow. What's happening there?
So the High School in Harrow Council is in the middle of the strategic plan, but we could potentially see some opportunities for public-private partnerships. We know that it's set way too long and that there is money needed. But if we look at a public-private partnership, maybe if we partner with a medical lab, bring in medical services, it still might be feasible. Perhaps we don't want to keep the whole building, but, can we keep the gym and the shop for municipal use? We also need daycare facilities out here. We are growing in Harrow and Colchester. We've run out of daycare spaces. So, Dan, as your team knows, people want, if they're buying a home in a community, they want access to daycare spaces. So still hopeful that a public-private partnership can be possible at the Harrow High School.
I love it. Wow. Anything specifically, anything else you want to mention, Sherry, about what's happening in Essex?
Well, we have developers coming to Colchester, Horizon Developments, and they're looking at a subdivision called Ambassador Heights, or Colchester Heights, and they're looking to create homes which would have additional dwelling units right in them. And they would also be net zero homes. So this is another project that we're going through the environmental assessment on to make sure that the Colchester sanitary system has capacity. But once these homes hit the market, they'll be kind of neat because of the net zero and because each home will have an additional dwelling unit. So that, when you rent out the unit, it'll help offset your mortgage. So watch for those to come in to get listed.
I love it. Now, listen, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you our fun question today, Sherry. Our fun question.
Okay.
Take yourself back to your younger years. What do you wish today's kids had or didn't have that we didn't or did have as kids?
Well, I definitely, as a mom of young kids, I'm guilty of this too. There's definitely too many electronics in our lives. And I think that's the only answer, really. I think parenting has become really challenging. Both parents need to work, so I'm guilty of it myself. We use electronics as babysitters, and now what it's doing too, when parents split up, they often don't agree on the use of electronics, right? So, you can have Twitter and video games at dad's house or mom's house, but not at the other parent's house. So I wish we could take it all and throw it out the window, but of course that's not going to happen.
That's something I haven't really thought about too, as parents separate. Yeah.
There's a lot of splitting.
Yes, I'm going through that right now, right? Having a TikTok, I would not be a TikTok parent, but then I come home and the devices that went for a round trip to dad's house have TikTok on them. So then, I think of, okay, I have to take it off now. Now I'm the bad guy, but I had nothing to do with it in the first place.
Yeah.
Boy, oh boy, eh?
I know.
Listen, you are doing a fantastic job out in Essex, Sherry, and your social media presence is top notch. And you could tell that you're really out there fighting for all these issues that you've heard from, door knocking during the election. So good on you for that, and keep up the great work.
Thank you, and have a good afternoon.
You too. That's Mayor Sherry Bondy of the town of Essex, and interesting for our first segment there, featuring our municipalities. And let's see, next week we're doing Amherstburg. So Mayor Prue will be with us from the town of Amherstburg. So there you go. Okay, we're going to take a break. We're going to come back, give away the gift card for the Richmond Popcorn Company. If you haven't already entered, you still have a chance. Text the word popcorn with your first and last name to 10800, and you could win the $50 gift card for the Richmond Popcorn Company in Amherstburg. Lots more to come right here on the Dan Gemis Real Estate Show.